Hi friends, this is Irene. I just wanted to do a quick little video because I mentioned yesterday that I struggle with some disabilities. But as I share this, I want to make it as brief as I can, but also I want it to be a message that we don't need to let our disabilities define us and or rob us from having the best life ever possible. And pretty much after this, I probably won't mention a whole lot about my disabilities because I don't want it to be my focus. Or if it is mentioned, it's going to only be mentioned of how we can have the best fulfilled life in spite of any kind of disabilities that are given to us. That is the message that I want to give, okay? But never do I ever want it to ever define me, okay? So way back in, 20 years ago, what happened is I started to struggle with leg weakness. And around that time, they also found out that I was diabetic. But what happened is I got the diabetes under control with diet, so I'm actually not considered a diabetic anymore. It's reversed. But around that time, I just still continued to have this leg weakness as time went on. But they didn't know why. But maybe it was just had something to do with the blood sugar. Now, I do look about 10 to 12 years younger than my age, so I am very lucky about that. But as time went on, I got my dream job, and I was just so happy. I was a dog trainer, and I worked for a company for 18 years. And I was a dog trainer for them for 16 years. So I got to play with puppies and train them and train the dogs and had my just wonderful career, that I've always wanted in life. But as time went on, I know that, even my job became a challenge, and I always needed, to balance, just how much I was standing, because again, the leg weakness was still always there. So as time went on, I would say it's probably about 6 years ago, or 7, something like that, I started to have problems with my cervical spine. So my cervical spine started to go, it herniated twice. And then after that, I started to get, a couple years later, pins and needles in my legs. So it went from my feet to my knees. And so I struggled with that. At the same time, I was very active. I still loved to hike and camp and just be outdoors and do, oh my gosh, travel. Just whatever I could do. I was just out seeing as much of the Northwest out here. I live in the Pacific Northwest. And so I was just embracing life and hiking, just embracing it, loving it. But then when I was coming out of hikes, I started to hurt more, and down my front and down my thigh. And so then they ended up running tests, and they found out that I had severe arthritis in both my hips. So I started to deal with that, but they got me on medication that helped to calm the pain down. And then they didn't really know why I had the neuropathy at that point, because only my cervical spine had given me any trouble. So they gave me medication and got that under control. And then I started to have lumbar issues. And then all of a sudden I'm trying to think, it's now 5 years ago, 3 years ago, sorry. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, sorry, 4 years ago, my lumbar herniated, and on a root nerve, but I came out of it without surgery. But now that never left me the same, because remember, before I always juggled how much standing because I had leg weakness, but now I had to struggle with how long to sit, how long to stand, how long to sit, how long to stand. So that was kind of becoming my world, and juggling this around. And so then as time went on, it wasn't getting any better, and the kind of vehicle that I had, it was getting really hard for me to travel too far, And so she sent me to a neurosurgeon where he did another MRI, and they found out that I basically got an answer to the leg weakness that I had struggled with for so long, And I want to say it was like, I don't know, 20 years or something, 15 years that I struggled with the leg weakness. So they found out that I had a condition called adult tether cord syndrome. So basically what that is that in the spinal column, or you have a cord in your column, and it was being pulled down and into the side. So that was one of the issues. And then I started getting, of course, by that time, degenerative disc disease, and my dad struggled with that, so that's just a genetic thing that I had picked up on top of everything else. And then my mom's side has arthritis, and that's where the hip arthritis was coming from that. So then as time went on, it turned out that things were getting harder for me to work or to maintain a full-time job, even though I kept trying to do it. But then last year, my ankle started to swell, and then that even made it even more difficult to juggle everything else around. But compression stockings did help somewhat, but not to withstand now everything else that I had on my plate to get through a full day. So I had to go out on short-term disability, because I think I mentioned that I had quit when really I didn't quit. I actually sort of, because I didn't want to go back, I went to the doctor after I said, this is enough. I mean, I just have my plate full now with everything going on, and now with my feet swelling. So basically I never went back to work. So, and then my job didn't want me to come back. So the more and more we worked with the doctors, and the more that they kept looking at my situation, they just felt that they could not accommodate me even under the ADA any longer. So it was, you know, kind of a mutual decision that I had been done, and I think they were done with trying to accommodate all my disabilities. So so that's kind of was the chain of events that led to me now having to sell my house and go through these steps of now focusing on getting the van to try to make my life easier, because now I could no longer work. But now what happened actually to finalize all these decisions was at the end, when I had sold my house, my hands started to go as well. My fingers, my wrists, they started to bother me right up before I left to go get the van, to get the Explorer. So, but I went, I mean, hey, I went on this trip, nothing was stopping me. I'm getting this van. See, that's the way I am. And I'm going to travel, you know, almost whatever, 3,000 miles. I'm going to go pick up this van in spite of my spinal problems. I mean, nothing was going to get in my way. So that's just the way I am, you know, but I did take a friend with me, you know, to make sure that, you know, I was going to be all right. And so then to fulfill my dreams and just go after them, embrace them. So that's what I did. And then when I got back, I found out that they found something in my blood tests, why my fingers were now bothering me, and my wrists, on top of the ankle swelling and stuff like that I was dealing with. So, but compression stockings helped with the swelling. But then it turns out that something in my blood test is showing that I have an autoimmune disease. So it looks like I could be facing rheumatoid arthritis. So I see a specialist next week. I'm still not, you know, kind of out of what's going on with that situation, but I did find taking gluten out of my diet really did help a lot. So my fingers don't hurt as much, the wrists don't hurt as much, so that has been amazing, just doing that one thing. So my goal when I see this doctor next week, and they need to run more tests to figure out is this RA or is this some other kind of condition that is attacking my joints, because there's several other conditions out there that can attack the joints. So I still don't have a total diagnosis, even though it's just looking like 65, 70% right now that it is RA. So I'll know more pretty soon, but even then, no matter what, I'm fighting this with diet. I will not let it define me. I will not let it prevent me from having the best life possible out there. So that's kind of what I've been going through. I hope I didn't lose my eye focus. I've been trying to work on that one. And so after here, I really don't want this to be so much about my disabilities, even though I kind of might briefly mention it here and there. I really want this to be more about me living out still my dreams, me not, letting the disabilities prevent me from achieving my dreams. But also my disabilities did cause me to do lifestyle changes of how I'm living. So, but this is how I'm going to make it work, and make it work for the best and for the positive. So that's what I want this to be about. And I want you guys to come along with me as I just, embrace life, love life. And that's what I want this to be about, okay? So come along with me as I, take me and my dogs, and we get my van ready, and I still travel the best I can. Oh, and the seats in the van, ooh, they help me to travel and go farther than I've been able to go in a vehicle in a very long time. So I'm not too worried about that. And remember, I don't have to drive like a half a day. I could drive just a couple of hours, at a time, and park it or whatever. But I have good days, bad days. I don't know. I just kind of take it as it comes each day. But so I'm really excited about you guys being there with me and supporting me and sharing this dream or just life ahead of me. Anyways, time is getting again. I don't want this to get too long, but that's basically what had happened. So with my story, okay, with the disabilities, okay? But anyways, I'm still love life. Life is good. But one other message I can give anybody, that I always thought that because the one thing that did get taken away from me was major hiking. And I really thought that I had time to hike. I thought I would be able to, there's so many more hikes that were out here in the Northwest and other places that I always wanted to do, that I can still do short ones or little ones, but I still have to watch what I do. But if you love to do those things, do them. Don't think you have tomorrow, because you never know what tomorrow is going to give you. So if, whatever age you are, just get out there and, if you love hiking, embrace it, do it. Don't think that, you've always got forever or tomorrow to do those things, because we have no guarantee what tomorrow will bring us. So, but even though I can't hike as much as I used to, I still enjoy other things that I can do out there. Okay? All right. So love you guys. Love life. Embrace it. Have fun. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Love you guys.